So a no-nonsense early review of RE9. Please keep in mind of the title, I am not finished with the game. I'm about halfway, probably like 40%, just over a quarter. The game is great. We'll get to more details on that later. All of these clips are recorded from my Twitch, so it will be on screen here and in the description. I'm also live on YouTube, and I'll be streaming this every night for the next few nights. So go over to that if you want to see more gameplay. The first half of this is just going to be me talking about the review, and then the second half of this is just going to be clips from the gameplay. So if you want to skip the review, you can go to that. It'll be in the description, or you can watch this portion, and not watch the clips at the end if you don't want to get spoiled. There won't be many spoilers because I only went about like halfway through. It's only the first like 2-3 hours of the game that I have in clips. I went farther in my stream, but I kept this video to just like a short portion of the game. So like I said, I hope you guys enjoy. It'll be no nonsense, and again, keep in mind it's only an early review. I will come back and do a part 2 to this video later on when I'm done with the game. So please enjoy, and I appreciate it if you go over to my Twitch. Thank you. Okay, so simply put, the game is worth it. Now, I do dislike that games are $70 nowadays, so you know that's never a great thing, to be able to pay $70 for new games. It does suck, but the game is worth it. For 70 bucks, you're getting a lot of content. Even halfway through the game, I think that it's worth it. The game is great, I think, for new RE players that just got into the series either when RE7 came out or RE8, and even the RE4 remake. I think even if you're a new fan, you'll really enjoy this game. And I think what's beautiful about it is it still has a Resident Evil soul to it. Even if you've just been a fan of the older games and not the newer ones, I think you will have a lot of fun with this game. I do like the two different characters you get to play as. I think that is a great idea, as you get to play as Leon and Grace, and they have two different play styles. Grace is more stealth, which I wish they kind of gave you more of a guide for. You really only have bottles, and she has limited resources. So I was playing her more as shooting and stuff. I wasn't really doing too much stealth with her. She does have a thing that you can craft. It's like an injector. Um, and you can basically one-shot zombies. The problem is that it is a one-time use. So the issue with that is you can craft more, but there's way too many zombies in her area when you get to her puzzle after you get your encounter with the big lady. We'll say that. Her puzzle section is a little, it's a lot, and on top of that, I just don't think you have the materials to just like stealth through it all. But nonetheless, her parts are really fun. They're more horror inspired, which I loved, and Leon is definitely more of the action. So more on Grace's parts. So I playing the game in both characters first person. The game, when you first load it up, it was in the first clip. Um, the game on default settings has Grace first person to enhance the horror elements, and Leon third person. It definitely felt weird to play Leon in first person, but it still works. You know, some of his moves, it goes into third person real quick when you do his melee moves, but um I do enjoy the way that the default settings are with first person and third person for Leon. I'm doing both in first, and then I'll do a run after on classic difficulty, both in third person. So first person, the game is beautiful. The graphics are amazing. Even on my computer, which I have a pretty good computer, but I don't have a monster one. Even when streaming, it looked great. The frames were great. Everything was fine. There are a few settings I want to get to, though. To find sensitivity, it took me like 30 minutes to an hour. In my stream, if you guys go look at the VOD, I was looking around for the sensitivity and I couldn't find it. So basically, the sensitivity is in the camera setting. So when you go, I mean, obviously, but you have to go to the point of view. And when you go change the point of view, there's a little icon next to it, and you press that icon, and then it gives you the sensitivity changes. I wish the sensitivity was just in controller or just there in the camera. I don't know why it's behind the first person or third person camera. I think that's pretty weird, but that's not that big of a deal. Most of my complaints and cons about this game are few in between and aren't that big of a deal. So the game overall, like I said, buy it. It's great. You'll love it. again, this is only halfway through. We're not done with the game, and my opinions can change. But so far, I don't think that the quality is going to drop that much. Another thing about the settings in first person that I have found, there's no FOV change, which is a little annoying. It's kind of hard to see certain things when you're playing as Grace in first person. There's vases you can break and just herbs that are around. It is kind of difficult to spot them, and I feel like that's mostly because of the FOV. If you were able to expand the FOV and play at a larger scale, a larger screen, it would be a little bit easier. So that is one of my complaints, that there is no FOV slider, but like I said, it's very minimal. It's not that big of a deal. I just think it makes it a little bit harder. um Another thing that I wasn't really enjoying is the pacing a little bit. So I'm not going to spoil too much, even though it's the first few hours. You play as Grace from the very beginning, and very quickly do you get back into Leon. And I was very surprised. I wanted Leon. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but I wanted Leon to be a little bit more into the game when you get to play as Grace some more and actually, get her character. And then Leon comes in. It's like an hour or two, not even 2 hours, and you're already back as Leon, and he's in, and he gets a really cool part of the game. It's a super cool part of the game when he gets introduced. There's clips of that you guys will see. And yeah, I just feel like the pacing was whatever, because even when you switch back to Grace, you're only as Leon for a very short time. You switch back to Grace, and even that part, it's a horrifying part that you have to play with Grace. And then, like, you can rush through it probably in like 10-15 minutes, but if you don't know what you're doing, it'll take you like half an hour, and then you're right back to Leon for a little bit of time. And I just didn't really enjoy the pace of the switching between characters in the beginning. But like I said, it's not that big of a deal, because the gameplay, even though it's not paced that well in my opinion, the gameplay's great. You're going to have fun just playing as the characters. um and another thing I didn't like too much is, and this again, all of my cons and all of my negative points here are very minimal, so do not take these as like, oh, it's hindering my enjoyment of the game. It's not. I feel like the story is pretty obvious on where it's going. Now, as the story goes along, again, I'm only halfway through, as we get farther into the game, it might actually feel a little bit better. So, I'm not complaining too much about that, because it might unveil some stuff, or like be a little more less obvious. But I feel like the story was obvious from the first 2 hours. It just, which it can be a good thing that the story is straightforward. You know what's going on. It doesn't exactly tell you what's happening. And there's a character that you meet during Grace's puzzle section that don't want to spoil, that like kind of makes some questions. It kind of makes you ask some questions, so it's not too obvious. But the very first 2 hours, it kind of, you can get an idea of where the story is going. And I feel like I called it. I'm not going to put the clip in this video, but I feel like I called it. In one of these clips, I say like, oh, I think this is what's going on, and I think that's where the story is going. But like I said, it's not that big of a deal. And the game is great on both ends, on Leon's end and on Grace's end. So like I said, the game is fantastic. It is trying to tie in a little bit with previous RE games, but you don't need to play the previous RE games to understand this game or to get into this game. And I think that's really great. And my favorite Resident Evil is RE7, because of how scary. When I first played it, I was a little bit younger when I first played it, and the house section with Jack and the cop and the family and the mom, it was a blast to play through. But the reason I'm also bringing RE7 up is because even in RE7, I can admit that the Mia section, the boat section where you're getting chased by Evelyn, I believe the little girl's name was, or the grandma, whatever you want to call it. That is a part that whenever I replay that game, I'm like, I hate doing this part. Even I forgot what the brother's name is. It's not Jack. I can't remember what the brother's name was in the in RE7, but his like fun house, his madhouse, when you kill like the rest of the family members and you got to go to his side and go through like the barn and all the games. Even that shit was a little fun. Like the puzzle that you have to do with like the balloons and the clown and the birthday candle. Like I still felt like I was having fun. Um in that section of the game. But the Mia part, every time I play it, the boat scenes, I'm just like, I hate this part. It's spooky, but it's just not fun to play through. I think the first time I was like, it's whatever. Then as I kept playing it, I was like, oh, this is just not fun. RE4 didn't have that for me. RE4 I kind of loved every moment of RE4, the remake. So I didn't have that with that. In RE8, there's a part where you have to like play hide and seek with the doll. My point is though, there's just parts in the other Resident Evil games that there's always one or two parts where I'm like, ugh, I hate this section. I love the rest of the game, but I hate this one section. I hate playing through it. So far, halfway through, I haven't encountered that. I've seen something online, but I've been trying to keep away from spoilers for myself and just play it on stream. I have seen one section that was a very quick clip. It was like a 5-second clip, and I didn't know what it was. That looks like it won't be that fun. But again, I haven't gotten there yet. So in my second review in part 2 of this video, we will come back and talk about that. So point is though, I'm really hoping this game doesn't have that. And if this game doesn't have that, this might be like my second or third favorite Resident Evil I've ever played so far. So I love the way that this game is going. I love the action in this game. Like, quickly, just look at this clip. Just look at what happens in this clip. Okay, let it swing a little bit on the ground. No, it's just gonna get it. She tossed it? Oh my god. So I get a chainsaw tossed at me, as you can see. Yeah. That, like, I've never seen that in an RE game like that. Like, the zombie, it's just a regular zombie. It's not a boss zombie, just picks it up and just tosses the chainsaw at you. So the action in this game is great with Leon. And even the, I love the way that the zombies can fall into each other and kind of knock each other over. I love how, you know, they work in between. I love how when you kill, I'm not a big fan of gore. Like, I mean, like, it's not that like I'm queasy or I just don't really care about it. Like, if the gore's really good, it's not like, oh, this game's amazing. I just don't really care about it. But like, I do enjoy it because it makes it more realistic. The gore in this game is so good. And like I said, I don't care about gore, but they put a lot of paid a lot of attention and put a lot of effort into this side of the game, like killing zombies. It feels good to kill them. When you shoot them in the head, their eye pops out. When you shoot them in the mouth, their like mouth explodes and the tongue comes out. It is just so good. When you kill zombies in a room, there'll be no blood in the room. When you kill all of them in one room, there'll be blood splattered everywhere. And it's not like it's like every time you kill a zombie, like blood just appears on the wall. Like wherever you kill that zombie, there'll be blood surrounding it on the wall. Like I said, they just paid a lot of attention and did extremely well with the gore and put a lot of effort into this game. So to wrap it up, you guys can watch the clips now. There's some funny moments in here. I appreciate you guys for listening. Buy RE9. It's great so far. Halfway through, I love it. I have very minimal complaints. I feel like the story's a little obvious and some of the settings are weird. And even running it, I had some lag and stuttering in cutscenes. When I was actually in gameplay, I had to turn some stuff down. I figured it out. But during gameplay, it was always great. It was always smooth. It was just during certain scenes and cutscenes that it like started to stutter. But other than that, the game is great. It's worth it. Buy it, play it. Even if you're an old RE9 fan or a new Resident Evil fan, you will love this. And I love that it still has the soul of old Resident Evil games. It still feels like it's a Resident Evil game and not just like a new addition into the story. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video, and thanks for listening to me. Oh my god! Come on, man. That was cheap as fuck.
He's dead.
Oh, really? Oh my god.
Infected.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That was tough. What the fuck was that? No, don't. Come on. Go, like, why? You know, like, come on. She's gonna come out of this roof here. I'm gonna have to full sprint open the thing and barely get it open and slide under, calling it now. Am I right or am I right? Ugh. Called it, by the way. Fucking called it.
Come on.
Yep. Fucking called it. Come on. Leon, what was the plan? Oh, the cheesy lines. Oh. Okay, let it swing a little bit on the ground. No, she's gonna get it. She tossed it? Oh my god. Oh, whiff. Good spacing. Nice spacing. Okay, tell me that's it. Ooh. Well, that went well. Alright, let me figure out exactly where I need to go. I know I have to open this door, but I don't want to run into the knife guy again, because he destroyed me.
Weird. How do people normally get
Another coin. Oh my god. There's a roulette table. This is game of the year. It's game of the year. Oh. Okay, we're not gambling with him though. He's not a part of the fun.